A good evening to you all, and thank you very much for joining us here on Rwanda Television News. We're coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali, and my name is Martina Abera. Let us begin our edition by letting you know that the countries of Rwanda and the United Kingdom have expressed their commitment to strengthening their relationship and cooperation in various sectors aimed at the development of their citizens. On Thursday, Prime Minister Dr. Edward Ngirente hosted the UK High Commissioner to Rwanda, Alison Thorpe, in his office. Alison Thorpe stated that their discussions were significant for their collaboration between the two countries.
We talked about the Prime Minister's priorities on NST2 and how the UK could support across all sectors, but in particular education, social protection, reform of government institutions, agriculture. We talked about culture and art and sports and how we can engage Rwanda's youth in the sort of creative economy. And we talked about the strength of the overall relationship and how happy we are to be working together in the UK, and they're absolutely committed to maintaining that strong relationship. And I think the thing that's really interesting is that both my government and Rwandan government share the same key priority, which is economic growth. And if you think that, you need to have a good education sector for that, you need to have a good economy, you need to have good trade and investment. So I think we're both trying to achieve exactly the same aims.
Alison Thorpe also highlighted that there are plans to work with Rwanda in the education sector.
We're about to launch a new program that's called Girl, that is focusing on how we can help primary school children who can sometimes drop out of school, whether they're girls or children with disabilities or special educational needs, how we can help keep them in the school system. And we were also talking to the Prime Minister about the importance not just of making sure that pupils can stay in school, but the school infrastructure can support them, that there's enough teachers, there's enough classrooms and there's enough books, and how we, the UK and Rwanda, can work together to deliver on all of that.
The UK government has also expressed its commitment to continuing its partnership with Rwanda in promoting trade, economic growth and environmental protection. Alison Thorpe has been the UK High Commissioner to Rwanda for 4 months, having started her tenure in August this year. Moving on, Clever Noyinkima, who serves as a guide for tourists in Nyungwe National Park, received an international award on Wednesday presented by the United Kingdom's royal family in partnership with the Tusk Conservation Award for his efforts in environmental conservation. The award recognizes his remarkable work in protecting and raising awareness about the birds of Nyungwe National Park. He was honored by Prince William, the Prince of Wales.
As ever, the Tusk Awards shine a light on a handful of the remarkable people who work on the front line of conservation. I'm sure you'll all agree with me that the short films we've just watched beautifully bring to life the work of this year's winners. Their extraordinary stories are ones of unwavering determination to protect Africa's natural world, even in the face of multiple challenges. Tonight is a reminder that our planet continues to face terrifying environmental concerns, from climate change and habitat destruction to the exploitation of natural resources and an alarming downward trend in global biodiversity. Rainforests, the size of countries, are disappearing, and 1 million species are at risk of extinction, mostly due to human activity. Now is the time to support those globally that work to prevent future generations from becoming disconnected from nature. We must invest in the natural world around us and understand the value it has for us all, both now and in the future. That is why the insight and knowledge of the award winners tonight is so important. They should guide and inspire us all to drive change. They remind us of the importance of living at peace with nature. This is why it is so crucial that we do everything in our power to support the individuals who protect the natural world. This has come into even sharper focus over the past 2 years, following the murder of Anton Mzimba in South Africa. Anton was assassinated in his home for doing his job, protecting the incredible biodiversity of his country. And globally, 1,400 rangers have been killed in the past decade. The sobering roll of honor that we saw earlier recognizes the rangers who lost their lives and serves as a reminder of the ultimate price paid by too many on the front line of conservation. A few weeks ago, at the United for Wildlife Global Summit, I was delighted to announce a new initiative that helps improve welfare support for rangers through a series of innovative measures, including providing accident, medical, and life insurance, as well as mentorship. Developed by Tusk in partnership with the Game Rangers Association of Africa, this scheme will go a long way in recognizing rangers' critical contribution to safeguarding threatened species, habitats, and local communities. It is only through a collaborative approach under the guidance of indigenous and local communities that we can foster lasting and meaningful change. I believe we are the lucky ones. We live in a world in which incredible wildlife exists, and I want that for the generations that follow. I want my children to live in a world where swallows still migrate, gorillas still live in the cloud forests of Uganda, and rhinos still roam the arid rangelands of Namibia. It'll be thanks to extraordinary leaders such as those that we are celebrating today that this will happen. Well done once again to tonight's winners. You give us all the optimism for the future of our planet.
Claver Noingima has also established student clubs aimed at promoting environmental conservation. Some of these students, after completing their studies, have taken up guiding roles to educate the younger generation about the bird species found in Nyungwe. In addition to these efforts, Clever founded 2 cooperatives in Rangiro sector, Nyamasheke district, his area. One cooperative is composed of former poachers and those who used to harm the Nyungwe forest by hunting or destroying it, while the other supports porters who assist tourists with carrying luggage during forest expeditions. During the celebration of the Feast of the Apparitions in Kibeho, Nyaruguru district, Christians from various countries expressed that every problem they bring before the Virgin Mary is answered, leaving them with a constant desire to return and pray at the holy site.
I'm very grateful to be in Rwanda, specifically Kibeho, for prayers. And I'm very grateful. I came yesterday. I had a wonderful reception in Kigali and up to here in Kibeho, and I slept well. Yesterday we had a mass led by Bishop Celestine and different priests from all over the continent. And I enjoyed. Up to now I'm enjoying. I've just fetched the breast water of Mother Mary, and now I've been at the Jesus' Cross, and I'm going back to have a general mass which is beginning at 10. So this is my first time, but I'm very, very grateful and wonderful for the things so far I've seen and experienced. When I slept well, I didn't hear anything disturbing me. So Saturday in Rwanda is wow. All the places of Rwanda, they are very clean, and I'm also going to share that one with my church and my government, because at the church I'm a parish councillor in charge of Caritas and environment. So as an environmentalist, I'm going to share it with my fellow workers and colleagues and the church leaders, so we shall also improve the issues of environment and maintain hygiene in our place.
Rwanda highlighted the positive collaboration and contributions of the African Development Bank in implementing development projects that have accelerated the country's progress, significantly improving the well-being of its citizens. And Nora Gladys has more on this report.
The partnership between the government of Rwanda and the African Development Bank in bringing infrastructure projects closer to the people, as well as in education-related initiatives, is among the key factors that citizens acknowledge as having positively impacted their lives.
The lack of access to clean water had significantly impacted us, particularly on the economy, as we used to buy a jerrycan of water between 200 and 500 Rwandan francs. I would like to thank the government of Rwanda, in collaboration with AFDB, for providing us with water.
I would thank the African Development Bank and also the Center of Excellence for the opportunity they gave me. I would say now I can be able also to teach, because I'm also at the University of Rwanda, impact others so that we can be able to make a change in lives of people with disabilities.
During the celebration of the 60th anniversary of the bank's establishment, the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Yusuf Murangwa, noted that the bank's contribution to infrastructure development under the first phase of the government's National Strategy of Transformation, NST1, yields significant results. Its continued support in promoting the private sector under the second phase, NST2, of the strategy is deemed crucial.
In our collaboration, Rwanda has made significant strides in many areas. For example, in electricity, where between 2012 and 2022, we saw access to electricity coming from 16.8% to around 61%, almost a threefold increase, and this growth further increased in 2023. By the end of the year, we had around 74.4% connectivity to electricity. This is a remarkable milestone, given our ambition to reach universal access to electricity. Over the 60 years, we have achieved a lot together, but especially since 1994, the last 30 years. But that is history. So most important is the future, and we have to look forward, and there's still a lot that we need to do together. But especially this time, we want to support the private sector. We want to support the private sector a lot, because as we know, the future of our development, especially to achieve NST2 and to achieve our Vision 2050, will be mainly driven by the private sector. So every effort to support our private sector.
The African Development Bank country manager in Rwanda, Aissa Toure Sarr, also praised collaboration between Rwanda and the bank, pledging to strengthen this partnership further.
Many things that I'm happy and proud about is the fact that African Development Bank Group is really the partner of choice of many African governments, especially in Rwanda. And behind the socio-economic transformation and growth of Rwanda over the past 30 years, over the past decades, the bank has been a key partner in the sense that behind the achievement in infrastructure, energy, water sanitation, or transport, the bank has been a key partner, one of the main development partners in these sectors, which has critical for socio-economic development, for growth, for education, for making business and improving the lives of Rwandese.
Since 1965, the African Development Bank has funded 196 projects in Rwanda, providing a total of $3.1 billion in support for various initiatives, including electrification, water supply, and road construction. Enora Gladys, RwandaTV News.
Rwanda has launched a 5-year program aimed at advancing technology in financial services, which is expected to curb fraud against customers and build investor confidence. The program, which was officially approved by the Cabinet on the 18th of October this year, was launched on Wednesday. The National Bank of Rwanda has introduced a 3-year trial phase for various companies developing financial technology solutions for customers. After the trial, these companies will be granted permanent operational licenses. This initiative, aimed at building trust among clients, has been warmly welcomed by fintech companies.
Everything goes, like, of course it's positive because instead of going through the hassle of finding insurance companies and all the information and filling out the forms, now it's in one platform, so you don't have to do it all over again, and you can find the same information for all the insurances in one place without having to go check all of them out at the same place. So obviously it has been a game changer for the users already.
The solution we're bringing helps these businesses to increase that operational efficiency and to basically shorten the time, the amount of time it takes in terms of reconciliation, matching the books with the payments. So we have really tried our best to help these businesses improve that efficiency.
Our main role is to see that everything our members, our players are doing are following the basis of the market. And number one, they have where to raise their concern. And secondly, cause the players are our members, and then we can be like intermediate to coordinate between the client or the community with the players, so that we can regulate or we can facilitate the conversation in between.
The sandbox is a critical enabler of the fintech strategy vision we've just launched. It provides a live but controlled environment for both local and global fintechs to test and refine their solutions, offering a pathway to innovative ideas to enter and scale within Rwanda and across the region. Since its establishment, the Sandbox has provided a platform for over 50 fintechs, with 10 of them already piloting solutions that address critical financial challenges. These initiatives range from digital payments and lending to crowdfunding and insurance innovations. By allowing such ideas to mature under regulatory oversight, the Sandbox bridges the gap between innovation and trust, two pillars essential for the success of any financial ecosystem.
In the industrial zone in Masoro, a facility has been inaugurated to process and store fruits and vegetables destined for export. Farmers who grow fruits and vegetables have expressed that they previously faced challenges in preserving their produce, which often spoiled before reaching international markets. This facility is equipped with advanced technology to sort out damaged or deceased produce, ensuring only high-quality fruits and vegetables are exported. After selection, the produce is stored in cold storage units while awaiting shipment. Farmers have welcomed this development, noting that it will help address the difficulties they encountered in storing their harvests prior to export. This investment in fruit and vegetable processing and storage was initiated by investors from the United Kingdom, leveraging modern technology to ensure optimal preservation and quality.
In East Africa for 3 years. Through our Tanzanian company, we send about 13 containers per week, which means we have the market. I think we have more knowledge of market than most exporters here, but we are not here to take all of it. We're here to work alongside the farmers, alongside other exporters, and we are trying to, the event today was to bring all the people under one roof, because there are choke points in any growing business. There are choke points for logistics, there are choke points at the harvest end, and we're trying to unitize that and bring digitalization and technology to kind of reduce any choke points that there may be and smoothen out the system, which will give inevitably and eventually give access to larger markets for all of Rwandan exporters.
Your avocados are frankly amazing. The avocados that you buy in the UK are sort of this big, and then the avocados you can get here are this big and taste so much nicer, and they love avocados in the UK. So I definitely think there's a market for Rwandan avocados, for beans, for legumes, for coffee, for tea. You know how much we like tea in the UK, so there's definitely space for tea. And this facility will really help move the goods from Rwanda to the UK. So I think it's really exciting and the start of hopefully something much bigger.
The National Library Services conducted an open day bringing together different stakeholders to learn more on how best they can utilize services offered by Rwanda Cultural Heritage Academy.
The National Library Services was established to, among other things, search for, acquire, process, preserve library materials which have national value and make them accessible to the public. Unfortunately, not so many people know about services offered here or how they can utilize this facility.
So today we conducted an open day, National Library Services Open Day, to make awareness of the services we provide to the community. The public don't really know what we have here. Yes. That's the main challenge. And the people, others, don't know what services we provide. Some of people understand that the library is somewhere you can go and see it and read, but they don't know that there is a place established by the government, by the state, to preserve the documentary heritage of the country. That's why this is one of the challenges, and we wanted this event to address it.
According to some authors, beyond being a facility that promotes the reading culture, the National Library Services is also a safe haven for many authors to rely on to inform generations.
So this is very important for me, and the support to the people involved in writing, in reading books is very important. And actually putting in place such infrastructure, for me, I found it very, very important. And it will help many Rwandans and many young people to come in and read and know what's happening, know from the past what Rwanda has been doing, know their culture, but also building on what is being done in the present and inform the next generation.
The need for a national library was felt as early as December 1971 and realized in 1989, from whence it has evolved over time into current-day National Library Services, a unit under Rwanda Cultural Heritage Academy in the Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement. William Evans, Mtabazi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you for sticking with us on RwandaTV News, and a warm welcome back to other stories making headlines on the international scene. Ugandan authorities have issued a national disaster alert after days of heavy rains that have caused flooding and landslides. Israeli military strikes killed at least 17 Palestinians across the Gaza Strip on Thursday, medics said, as forces stepped up aerial bombardments on central areas and pushed tanks deeper into the north and south of the enclave. These and other stories from Africa and the Middle East in the following roundup, courtesy of VOA. Three American citizens imprisoned for years by China have been released. The three were designated by the U.S. government as wrongfully detained. China announced Thursday that the United States had returned 4 people to China, including 3 Beijing says were wrongfully imprisoned. That and other stories from the U.S. in the following lineup, also courtesy of VOA.
People there running first time in freedom. 经过中国政府不懈努力，
And that VOA story marks the end of our bulletin. On behalf of the news production team as well as the technical team, we would like to thank you very much for sticking with us on RTV News. I, who brought to you the news, Martina Abera. Stay safe and have a great night.